Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the conjunction of Sun and Venus in the natal chart. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So, firstly, how do you interpret this conjunction? Well, definitely you want to see this in your D1 Rashi chart. So, see where this conjunction is placed from your ascendant in your birth chart. Very important to see. You can also look at this from your moon sign as well. So, put the moon in the first house and read the chart from there. It's very important that you also check the strength and dignity of this conjunction of Sun and Venus in the D9 Navamsa. See where Sun and Venus have gone in the D9 chart. And the final say always comes in the D60 chart as well. What's very important to see, though, in this conjunction is what sign is this position in? This is going to make a huge difference. If this is placed in the fire signs, then the sun is going to become stronger in the conjunction and Venus will fall weak. So, this is definitely going to increase a lot of ego, a lot of desire and passion in this combination. If this is happening in an earth sign, then this is a neutral position for both of these planets, which can give neutral results. And so it can give more of a grounded and practical sense. And definitely in the sign of Taurus, Venus feels at home, which can give huge creative talent. If this conjunction is occurring in the air signs, then this can definitely show a very buzzing social life, very much connected with other people. And definitely, this is where Venus becomes stronger, especially in the sign of Libra, where the sun is in debilitation. So there's less ego in this combination. If it's in the water signs, then this will be a bit of a difficult position because this shows huge emotional attachment to others, which can cause some difficulties. You also want to see the guna. This can tell you a lot about this conjunction as well. If this is functioning in the mode of rajas, sattvic, tamas, this can be important to see as well. It's also important to understand aspects to this conjunction can change the results. And definitely, if there are other planets conjunct with this, also say you have Sun, Venus, but you also have Mercury in the conjunction, that's also going to make the results more complicated. Now, something that's important to understand about this conjunction of Sun and Venus is that the Sun and Venus are not friends with one another. They are inimical. So, definitely, this is going to give some challenging results in the chart. The Sun represents the self, the spiritual self. It is our sole significator, our whole purpose of why we have come here in this lifetime. The sun also represents those in positions of power and authority, and it can show our own ability to rise in authority, to gain wealth and success in this lifetime. The sun also represents our relationship with our father figure in our life as well. So all of this can be seen through the sun's position, but Venus represents our relationships in general, how we are able to relate and bond with other people. And it also represents marriage. It represents the wife in a male's chart, and it definitely is about childbirth. So it shows this ability to connect and to relate with other people. Venus also represents all of the pleasures in this life, everything that makes us feel comfortable, at peace, that brings happiness into our lives. It is connected with the arts, music, dance, drama, entertainment. Venus is a very social planet. Its whole agenda is centered around increasing the population. Carrying on with our legacy becomes very important with Venus. So, when Venus comes into this conjunction, Venus is very uncomfortable because Venus is of the water element. It's a very emotional planet, and the sun is fiery. So, this water is getting burnt up in this conjunction for sure. And this is definitely true the closer that these are in this conjunction. So, you definitely want to see what the degrees are like between the sun and Venus. The other thing is that we really want Venus to be ahead of Sun in the conjunction. So we really want Sun to hold the lowest degrees, because what happens is when Venus is holding the lower degrees, Venus is approaching the Sun, which means that Venus is going to get burnt up in the rays of the Sun. So this creates a combustion. And this is true again, the closer it is in degrees, it's going to create more of this intensity in the conjunction, which is going to create some issues. Definitely, if this is combust in the chart, there will be irritation in relationships. This can definitely show that you can get into relationships, but you can find that there's a lot of dissatisfaction, disharmony in your connections. And even if Venus is behind the sun, this could also show some ego issues, getting into conflicts in relationships with this placement because the ego is fueled up in this combination. So you get yourself into these difficult situations. You attract people with high levels of ego. And definitely, this shows that you have to surrender your ego when relating with other people. If the sun is most powerful in this combination, though, if Venus is ahead of the sun, then this definitely shows that you have huge creative talent and you're very relationship oriented. You love to share and to give with other people. You're a very loving and compassionate person. And sometimes, even so much to the point where you can give too much to other people, where definitely there's a need to consider your own needs with this combination for sure. So the thing is that relationships become very important when the sun is conjunct with Venus, because the sun is who you are and Venus is about relationships. So your whole life revolves around relationships and connections when you have this conjunction. And definitely this can show from a very early age in life that you could have picked up on some creative talent, hobby in your life for sure. This could make you very talented in music, dance, drama, the arts with this position. But if this isn't a combustion, then this may show that there are difficulties with some of these skills and talents where it doesn't take you to success or you don't see it all the way through into an older age. But definitely, this shows a great love of creative expression when Sun and Venus are together. This placement can also be good for wealth as well because the Sun represents wealth and so does Venus. So, definitely, this can attract a lot of luxury into your life with this position. The problem is, though, when Venus is too close with the sun, we have this fiery energy. So you can burn through your wealth. You can overspend your wealth. You can spend carelessly with this combination. Sometimes this placement can also give you this magnetism where you attract the support of others. You attract people into your life who can help you. You attract all sorts of fans, followers with this position. You can be a very attractive, magnetic person. You have this charisma about you because Venus is a very charming planet. And Sun also increases the courage, the ego here. So you're very charismatic, very magnetic with this position for sure. And this can make you very skilled in various areas of life where you have to use this charm and charisma, such as politics. Again, getting into dance, drama, music, entertainment can also be seen with this position. Sometimes this placement could make you a bit selfish, depending upon how this is placed in the chart, because you are so focused towards gaining pleasure and enjoyment out of life that you put your own enjoyment before others. This particularly happens when this is afflicted in the chart or when it's in the combustion once again. This placement also could give strong sexual desire, strong sensuality. Again, you are very much inclined towards relationships. You desire to have this intimacy, this deep connection. But the problem is, again, when Venus is too close with the sun, it can burn out your relationships where you can find a lot of disappointments. This placement could also give you a great relationship with your father sometimes if it is placed well in the chart. The father could be someone who is very entertaining, very fun, very joyous with this placement. But if, again, if this is afflicted in the chart, then this can create obstacles in the relationship with the father. And sometimes this placement can even show issues with childbirth in some cases because Venus definitely represents the sexual organs and the ability to have children. So there can be some issues if the significance of Venus is getting burnt out in the chart. Sometimes this combination can also hurt your spiritual journey because definitely the sun represents spiritual wisdom and our connection with our soul purpose in life. And Venus is a very materialistic planet, so it can draw you into areas where you are distracted away from your spiritual journey sometimes. But definitely implementing spirituality into your life can help you with this placement because, again, there's a need to find compromise in situations to not bring too much ego into these situations into your life definitely is going to be a huge lesson. This placement can show that your partner can be egotistical, or you can, or both of you can. There are these constant clashes and difficulties within relationships, which can disturb your inner peace. So, definitely a need to work out these situations. The other difficulty that can play out sometimes is in joint finances. Sometimes there's a need to be more independent in terms of dealing with wealth because there can be some disputes, arguments, issues around finances sometimes. Sometimes this placement could also show that you could do work that is related to the occult mysticism because this is connected to Venus as well. Venus is the teacher of the lower beings. So it is also connected with occult knowledge. But again, this placement tends to make you inclined towards the arts, towards creativity, with this position. Sometimes this placement could make you also inclined towards education, particularly if this is in the fifth or ninth house of the chart, because Venus definitely rules over literature and the arts once again. So this can make you a very talented person and you could do very well with your studies. At the same time, if this is in a difficult position, then you could become too impulsive and impatient with your studies and can find some difficulties in this area. Ultimately, though, this combination makes you a very attractive person, someone who is able to attract wealth and success into your life if this is placed well. If it's not placed well, then huge lessons about toning down the ego and being more compromising when dealing with relationships. So I hope you all enjoyed this. If you like this, don't forget to leave a like. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video.